It's commonly believed that shedding pounds is split 50-50 between nutrition and physical activity. However, these factors together only constitute 25% of success. Quality rest accounts for another 25%, while the remaining 50%, the most significant portion, comes down to following through on your commitments. Fortunately, there exists a straightforward method to virtually guarantee success when embarking on a dietary journey today. The initial phase begins with finding inspiration. That motivational spark typically ignites when you observe someone with an enviable physique or glimpse yourself in a photograph. This catalyst prompts you to pursue change. Though powerful, inspiration proves ephemeral, typically vanishing within 24 hours. This is precisely why establishing a quantifiable, time-bound objective becomes crucial. Consider this approach. I'll drop 5 pounds before July 1st, with another 5-pound reduction by August 1st. This creates trackable milestones that fuel your motivation. The subsequent step involves crafting a practical, detailed strategy. Consider transforming your morning routine. Instead of consuming milk, sugar-laden granola, and a PB&J sandwich, start with a mile-long run, followed by a breakfast of 15 fresh strawberries and 3 hard-boiled eggs. Surprisingly, this single modification can yield significant fat loss within several weeks. However, strategy alone isn't sufficient. Preparation is key to seamless execution. This means preparing your strawberries, pre-boiling eggs, and laying out exercise attire the night before. When morning arrives, adhering to your plan becomes the path of least resistance. Continuing to stock peanut butter and jelly prominently in your refrigerator, while neglecting to prepare healthy alternatives, reveals an unconscious resistance to change. It suggests anticipation of eventual surrender to old dietary habits. The secret to healthier eating lies in creating barriers to unhealthy choices while making nutritious options readily accessible. While these strategies sound straightforward, confronting temptation is inevitable, regardless of how diligently you try to avoid unhealthy options. Picture this scenario. You unexpectedly find yourself at IHOP, confronted by a menu where each item boasts over 1,000 calories. In such moments, you might be tempted to rationalize with some of the most perilous phrases in dieting history. Option A, a single indulgence won't derail everything. Option B, tomorrow will be my true starting point. This is a major red flag. Option C, I'll compensate by skipping meals later. Option D, perhaps it's time to focus on muscle gain instead. These situations demand mental fortitude, the capacity to exercise self-denial. You can strengthen this mental muscle by preparing for potential justifications in advance and practicing resistance. Consider physically rehearsing walking away from tempting situations. Remember, though, willpower is a finite resource. Rather than constantly testing your resolve, it's wiser to sidestep temptations altogether. The ultimate secret to maintaining motivation lies in consistency until behaviors become automatic. When your morning routine naturally flows from jogging to consuming your healthy breakfast, adherence becomes exponentially easier. This momentum builds daily, making each subsequent day more manageable than the last. A remarkable transformation often follows. You may discover genuine enjoyment in nutritious eating and physical activity. At this stage, like many others before you, these habits transcend mere lifestyle choices to become fundamental aspects of your identity, the pinnacle of sustainable change. Regarding progress monitoring, the most reliable indicators remain straightforward: weekly weigh-ins combined with photographic documentation of your journey. When it comes to progress pictures, don't be discouraged if you don't notice much change in the first few weeks or even the first few months. This is because your body tends to burn fat from areas that may not be immediately visible. However, once the changes become noticeable, they often happen quickly and more dramatically. To accurately track your progress, consider weighing yourself daily, preferably each morning. Keep in mind, though, that your weight can fluctuate significantly due to factors like water retention or the types of foods you consume. This means you might lose a pound of fat, but it may not show up on the scale right away. Instead of focusing on daily changes, it's better to evaluate your progress on a week-to-week basis by averaging your results. You've probably heard that losing fat requires consuming fewer calories than you burn. For example, if your body burns 2,000 calories per day, eating 1,700 calories daily will create a calorie deficit, leading to fat loss. This happens because your body taps into fat stores and a very small amount of muscle to make up for the 300 calorie shortfall. Dropping your calorie intake even lower, such as to 1,500 or 1,200 calories a day, can accelerate fat loss, but it will also make the process much harder to sustain. A common way to estimate how many calories you should consume is by using an online calorie calculator. Be honest about your activity level, for example, sedentary, to get a realistic starting point. Use this number as a baseline for your daily intake to start losing weight. That said, calorie estimates can vary greatly, since every person's metabolism is different. This is especially true for individuals with hormonal imbalances, such as high cortisol, low estrogen, or testosterone, or thyroid issues. The most reliable method is to begin with the calculated number and monitor how your weight changes over a few weeks. If your weight isn't decreasing as expected, reduce your daily calorie intake by 200,300 calories and reassess. If you hit a plateau and don't see any weight loss for at least a week, you'll need to make adjustments. This could mean lowering your calorie intake further or increasing your level of physical activity. For many people, this approach works well because, in theory, it's based on straightforward math that's hard to dispute. The main challenge, however, lies in accurately tracking your calorie consumption. This involves reading nutrition labels, using calorie counting apps, doing mental math, and weighing your food in grams with a food scale. If you're not used to the metric system, don't worry. Many food items, like those from McDonald's, already provide calorie counts. You can also estimate your calorie intake without strict tracking, but this method requires you to overestimate to stay on the safe side. For example, if something seems like it's 300 calories, assume it's closer to 500. If it looks like 800, it's probably around 1,000. And even foods that seem insignificant might still add up. Always assume they're at least 50 calories. Before diving into methods that don't require calorie tracking at all, let's talk about macronutrients. Whether or not you track them, people often ask how much protein, fat, and carbs they should eat. For most weight loss goals, you really only need to focus on calories and protein. You'll need a certain amount of protein and fats, and then you can fill the rest of your calorie allowance with anything else. Be cautious with fat-rich foods like oils, butter, nuts, cheese, and salad dressings. While healthy in moderation, fat contains 9 calories per gram, meaning calorie-dense foods like trail mix can pack in more calories than you'd expect. If you've heard claims that carbs cause weight gain, remember that this typically applies to refined, processed carbs, not whole foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Refined carbs, often stripped of nutrients and loaded with added sugars, are delicious, calorie-dense, and easy to overeat. Examples include chips, sugary cereals, pastries, and many packaged snacks. These foods don't just lack nutrition, they also tend to make you hungrier, which can sabotage your calorie deficit. That said, you can still include processed foods in moderation and lose weight, as long as you stay within your calorie deficit. Some people even boast about eating junk food daily and still shedding pounds. But what they don't mention is how unsatisfying this approach can be. They're often starving most of the day, their nutritional health might suffer, and they might resort to strange habits, like eating cereal with water instead of milk to stay in their deficit. This leads us to a method for losing fat without counting calories. The key is to gradually shift your diet toward minimally processed foods. Cut back on chips, sweets, and refined carbs, and replace them with fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, and healthy fats. These nutrient-dense foods are filling enough to help you maintain a calorie deficit without constant hunger. For perspective, compare 200 calories of Oreos to 200 calories of strawberries. The difference in portion size and satiety is striking. Another helpful tip is to limit snacking. Focus on eating during meals and skip snacks unless they're fruits, vegetables, or low-calorie options for managing cravings. Most people snack on calorie-dense, highly processed foods out of boredom, stress, or thirst, not actual hunger. Over time, cutting out unnecessary snacks becomes easier, and your cravings for them will naturally fade. Ideally, as you progress, you'll begin to develop a subtle sense of superiority. I'm doing better than everyone else, and this mindset might just carry you through to the end of your diet. But if things get tough, here are some practical tips to help you stay on track. 1. Drink more water. Water can be surprisingly filling, and often when you feel hungry, a quick drink will satisfy you. Keeping a large water bottle nearby will also remind you to stay hydrated and help you avoid craving high-calorie drinks like soda, juice, bubble tea, or milkshakes. 2. Stop postponing your diet. If you keep telling yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," it's likely you never will. 3. Avoid liquid calories. It's much easier to overconsume calories in sugary drinks than in solid food. 4. Try low-calorie substitutes. Options like low-fat shredded cheese, keto bread, cauliflower rice, egg whites, and powdered peanut butter are excellent alternatives. 5. Enhance meals wisely. Use zero-calorie condiments, spices, sauces, and sweeteners to make healthy meals taste better. However, don't go overboard. Making food too delicious can increase your cravings for more. 6. Curb sweet cravings. Zero-calorie diet sodas can be a helpful tool if you need something sweet without the calories. 7. Focus on high-volume, high-fiber foods. These options, such as fruits and vegetables, fill your stomach while keeping your calorie count low. 8. Stick to 3-5 meals per day. This helps you avoid long periods of hunger and is easier to integrate into your routine. While some people try eating just one large meal daily, most find it unsustainable. 9. Time your meals. Save your biggest meals for the times when you typically feel the hungriest. 10. Consider intermittent fasting. This approach involves eating only within a 4-8 hour window each day and fasting for the rest. While it might seem challenging at first, hunger typically comes in waves and often subsides if you wait a little. 11. Prioritize protein. Protein helps you feel full and has a thermic effect, meaning your body burns about 20 calories digesting every 100 calories of protein. 12. Be cautious with protein powder. While it's useful for meeting your protein needs, it's not as filling as whole food sources. If you use it, mix it with water to avoid adding extra calories. 13. Try black coffee or tea. The caffeine can give your metabolism a small boost and suppress your appetite slightly. 14. Downsize your portions. Using smaller plates, bowls, and portion sizes can trick your brain into feeling satisfied with less food. 15. Don't let slip-ups derail you. If you mess up, resist the urge to binge on junk food. Remember, Making a mistake wasn't part of the plan, but giving up definitely isn't either. On to exercise. Exercise not only burns calories and improves health, but also teaches you how much effort it takes to burn off something like a 200-calorie snack, making you less likely to indulge unnecessarily. 1. Lift weights. Strength training not only burns calories, but also boosts your metabolism and helps build muscle. Check out online resources for exercise ideas. 2. Walk more. Aim for at least 10,000 steps daily. Walking is a simple, yet highly effective way to burn extra calories. 3. Incorporate cardio. While diet plays the most significant role in fat loss, cardio can make the process easier. If traditional cardio feels boring, try high-intensity interval training, height or circuit-style workouts, many of which are available for free on YouTube. 4. Reduce sedentary time. Simply being more active throughout the day can burn more calories than you'd expect. This includes everyday activities like taking the stairs, cleaning, cooking, standing, walking, carrying groceries, or even fidgeting. Basically, avoid spending too much time sitting or lying down. Don't overlook sleep. Getting good quality sleep is often underestimated in fat loss. Sleep regulates your hormones, which play a significant role in weight management. If you're tempted to think, "I already get enough sleep, so this doesn't apply to me," consider reevaluating your sleep habits. It could make all the difference. Finally, don't forget to like and subscribe to support future videos.